hi there, ho there, everyone. Welcome in. It is Wednesday Eve. It is, I hear myself. Hold on one second. It's Wednesday Eve, and we are here. I'm about to take that toy away from Franklin. Stop squeaking. Um, so it's hers herbal entrepreneurship reporting showcase, and tonight we've got Alibi back with us, Mary Ann. I'm so excited. So you guys, last time she was on, she talked about sending me a swag pack, and boy, she did. Hi there, Mary Ann. Welcome in. Thank you.
Hey, I'm so happy to be here again with you. Great to see you, and
You too.
awesome job wearing the shirt.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so comfortable. Honestly. Okay, so I really love the approach that Marianne took with this swag, because not only are these wonderfully huge logos and prints, but I like how you went ahead and kept the front plain, but also, is it on this one? No, it's on the t-shirt. But the t-shirt here has doo. Oh, it has this. And I love this. And I love how you made it fun by saying find your alibi. And
Yeah,
instead of just being like a logo, you know what I mean? Where we all know what these are for, but that's genius. So, speaking of which, you guys, is this what we're giving away today?
you know it. We've
Okay,
got t-shirt giveaway. Yep.
sweet. So you guys have a chance to win the t-shirt. Hello Techno24. Welcome in. Already coming in this evening. So we did one giveaway today already. But Marianne's going to be kind enough, and she is going to donate a t-shirt. So all you have to do to get entered in to win that is just say, "Hey, can I get in on this giveaway that you guys are doing?" And you get a free entry. If you want to get more entries to win one of these awesome shirts, same rules apply as Wake and Bakes in the morning. A follow gets you one. A sub or gift will get you 4 entries. A tip or dono will get you 2 times the dollar amount. And every 100 cheer gets you an extra award. So I did go out and get all those giveaways I was behind on today in the mail. So, all right, you guys, now that we have our housekeeping taken care of, let's get into it, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. Again, if you guys have tuned in a couple weeks ago, we had Marianne on, I think. But she's just been so great. She gave me that package and just has been really supportive and really fun to chat with. And I know that we have quite a few viewers over on the West Coast in Oregon and Washington. So let's get started. Um, Thanks for finding us. I think we connected either through Facebook or LinkedIn. Um,
Somewhere. I don't know. I'm on various WhatsApp groups and LinkedIn and yeah, everywhere. So trying to connect with awesome people, and here you are. I love that you're doing this and have built yourself a community of good people.
Oh, well, and you're included in that, so thank you. So something fun that I did last night that I know that you've been on, and I know we're going to talk about everything, but something like a little different. Like, do you guys have a really good I went to my first industry event yesterday, and we've talked about like how in Colorado the hospitality industry is kind of like for cannabis is kind of thumbs down and not
Mhm.
there. I was wondering, do you guys have like industry nights and stuff like that? And do you attend those?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's really interesting to me how every state is different because I know like Arizona does these huge giant meetups once a month. They're just massive and they sound like a ton of fun. Um, but that's because everybody's social consumption rules are different. So I think Oregon is probably fairly similar to Colorado, maybe even more restrictive. Oregon is basically nope.
Oh, for
Um,
real?
yeah. So we do have one industry trade association that meets once a month, and I do go to all of those. It's a great way to connect with other licensees, but it's very licensee and advocacy focused and not so much on the community. There's occasional community pop-up things here and there, but it's a gap that I wish were different. So we're
So you really
working
don't
on a few things.
you really don't have any consumptions lounge, is it? That's and I'm really surprised just because like the West Coast seems to always be more progressive when it comes to that kind of stuff, considering there's California over there and you guys have the Emerald Triangle that way. I'm
Mhm.
really surprised. Um, so yeah, so Techno, this is another episode of hers. So if you guys are out there, I always encourage everyone to ask questions, no matter what they are, because again, this is just a really nice platform to get to learn other states and what things are like. So if you guys have questions on, like I said, again, obviously not consumption laws because neither one of us really have that that opportunity. But Mary Ann here is a cultivator, and we're gonna get into that. So tell us a little bit about your history with cannabis. Have you always been a consumer? And I know some of these are going to be the same questions, but it's always we can always revisit it, and folks haven't heard from you before, so it's always good to repeat it. Nothing we stoners, we never say the same thing twice, or maybe we always say the same thing.
You never know. And I'm always happy to talk. You know what? That's one of the things I love about the cannabis industry is everybody has a story. And I just love hearing people's experiences. And to me, that's what the plant does is it's an experience and it's a way to amplify your life and make your life better. So I've not always been in the cannabis space at all. I've got an MBA. I was in tech and accounting and finance and all of that kind of stuff, very traditional. But about 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And if you've ever been through any intense medical thing, you kind of like, okay, I'll try, at least for me, I was like, I will try anything. Let's do what, try stuff. And a friend gave me some weed and said, hey, just try this, it might help. So I did, and it was totally life-changing. I was able to switch to using cannabis. I still did chemo,
So how
but
did you what was the way she introduced it to you? How were you using it therapeutically? Were you consuming it like edibles or smoking it or vaping?
I was doing RSO.
Oh, the so for those of you who aren't familiar and new to our cannabis community channel, RSO is what they kind of consider the cancer curing, like the stuff that will do the cancer curing. Like that's what you want is that thick. It's like one of the deepest, purest, high content like oils. So yeah, if you want to tell us a little bit more, I'm sure you have a better description of really what it is and what it kind of did for you.
Yeah, it's super interesting because, so many people use cannabis just as we say adult use or recreational or whatever word you want to choose, but just as a fun, like additive. Like now I don't drink, so I'd rather have a THC beverage, so it's more of a social type thing, which, I think that's probably the majority of cannabis users use it as a social, hey, we just want to feel good kind of thing. But I started out from the medical point, which you're right, it's totally different. So it's RSO is it looks like tar. It's black and sticky and nasty. I mean now I kind of like it, but
It
it's not
coats
like,
you
hey, we're
like
gonna have a brownie.
yeah, it coats your mouth. It leaves a thing on your tongue. It's like a very yeah, it's very yeah, I would say yeah, tarry. I can't really think of any food that you would eat that it's like so tar, yes.
Yeah. So that part is it's not like a fun thing, like you're gonna sit down and have a gummy and have fun. It's very therapeutic, but because of that, it's really strong. And I was, one I think chemo impacts everybody differently, but I had the side effects I had were severe nausea and just not feeling good. I mean, you're poisoning your body, you're poisoning the cancer. So it's a lot for your body. And one of the side effects from all of those cancer meds is your body is just like you take something for nausea and then that makes you constipated. So you take something for the constipation and then that keeps you up at night. You got to take something to make you go to sleep. It's just this non-ending pharmaceutical I don't know,
Nightmare.
train. Yeah,
Nightmare.
exactly. And so I was able to get rid of all of that stuff because cannabis did all of those things for me. So it like
So,
I
while you were on chemo, you got rid of
got,
all of those aided medications. Like,
uh-huh.
okay, awesome.
Yeah. Like even just like for me, the biggest thing was nausea. And sometimes I would just get so sick. You're just sitting there like, I'm just not feeling well at all. And so just taking just a tiny, tiny bit of RSO, just
Yeah.
even smelling it and like Oh, I'm gonna feel better
The
soon.
terpenes in it and
Oh
stuff
yeah.
even. So like when she's talking little, you guys, like you're literally like putting just the smallest dab on your finger, like, and you
Hmm.
can feel the intensity of it. So I have never used RSO for anything like that, but as a recreational usage of RSO, that stuff will mess you up.
For sure. Yeah, they say to use the size of a grain of rice,
Mm.
and it's super hard to dose. It's like I made mistakes. I mean, I'm,
Oh,
just being
right?
real. Like people make mistakes. They'll like eat a whole cookie and you should have just had half or
Right.
whatever. But with RSO, because you're only supposed to have a half a grain of rice, or 1 grain of rice, so then 2 grains of rice, it's not that much, like it doesn't look that much different, but it's double.
Right.
And um sorry, my cat's in my face, so
Oh,
I'm
don't worry. Franklin was squeaking when we started. That's adorable. What kind of, look at that beautiful fluffy tail.
yeah.
We love pets here.
Yeah. But so because it's easy to overdose. So like there were times when I just took too much and I was just asleep for 24 hours. My husband would like put his hand
Right.
on my face. Are you still alive?
Right.
But
Because between being your body just being extremely worn out from the chemo and cancer, I could see how you could get a deep sleep from RSO.
yep. Yep. So yeah, so that's how I got into the cannabis industry. And while I was still undergoing treatment, I was had to surgery and chemo and radiation. While I was going through radiation, we decided to start looking for property for a farm. And we found some property, we bought it, started building a building, and kind of the rest is the journey of Alibi, figuring out how to build a cultivation facility in a licensed state and getting all that up and running. Licensing, so complicated, but here we are, almost, well, 7 years later, and really thriving.
That's amazing that like you just decided like to ditch everything else and like take on this venture because of how amazing the plant was and what it did for you. That's a really great story. So I'm up here looking at, has anything new changed or happened? Any updates since we've last seen you?
Um, let's see here. We've got some really cool new genetics that we're just in the middle of
Is
testing.
that what you have on your front page here? Our genetics carefully flavored selected terpenes. Yeah, I see some beautiful pictures here on your website.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so we've got some really cool genetics. Let's see here, what else?
What's one of
The
your favorite strains that you guys cultivate and grow?
Well, I'm kind of old school. I kind of like all this new stuff. It's all great and wonderful, and we grow well and all that. But I'm old school. I love our Durban poison. It's
Mm.
classic. It's a more uplifting strain. It, we'll go through after a harvest and we'll smell stuff, or after the stuff, or like even today, the trimmers were busy trimming, and we go through and we smell the bags, and just to kind of see how everything's finishing, and you're like, oh, that smells good. Oh, that smells good. But for me, the Durban, I just want to bury my face in it and just like, oh, can I just lay in this? Because it
Dur-
is so good.
yeah, Durban totally has a distinct smell, kind of like no other weed. And then I'm actually smoking on a classic strain too tonight. Smoking on some Blue Dream.
Mm.
So I do enjoy those classic strains as well. Uh yeah, hey Techno, if you're out there, just for being in chat too, if you guys want to get entered in to win a t-shirt, all you have to do is say hey. Again, you have a chance to win one of these awesome t-shirts. So if you're out there, that's what's happening. And if you're just tuning in, we've been chatting with Marianne for about 20 minutes now. She'll be here for the next hour or so. Can you go ahead and just tell me a little bit about like your farm and how many employees you have and where people might be able to find your product?
Yeah, we're just outside of Portland, so we're an indoor farm. The northern part of Oregon is mostly indoor. There's some people who have greenhouses, but it's not like Southern Oregon. It's really interesting because Southern Oregon, Northern California are more similar climate-wise. So you have this amazing climate for growing outdoor and sun-grown cannabis. But up here where we're at, it's it's just not commercially viable to grow outdoor. So we have indoor, and that allows us to focus really on quality and consistency. So we harvest every month, and so there's always something fresh in the stores. We're in shops all over the state. Our on our website is our store locator, which is updated real time. So just type in your zip code and it'll tell you the nearest store. So that's pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Let's see here. What else do we have going on? I do have a question for you that I would love to
Oh,
chat about because we've been
I
talking about
love
this.
this.
Yeah. We'll
Go
do a
on.
reverse interview, but
No, everybody is always like, I'm so curious about you. Let's go.
okay. But so we've been talking about how you define quality because we say that. We say like, hey, our stuff is fire or our stuff is quality. And it's really hard to say to talk about, or it's interesting to talk about what does that actually mean.
So here's my,
And
yeah.
so tell me what you think.
So
I'd
my
love to hear your
so
thoughts.
my take is on this is it's about education, right? It's about what we're doing here. It's about so I went to my first industry night and we're talking about this too. It's all about people need to get out of their head about percentages, right? So I think it also just goes back to like the whole alcohol thing. The higher the alcohol content, the more fucked up you get, you know? And then
Right.
it's again too, it's like I'm getting like as I'm talking to people, I'm doing stuff more visibly and like really educating folks, especially on the edible side. I find that too, like again, it's just they're not educated and they have one bad experience and then weed is evil to them, you know, or they never want to do it again. So it has to be on a bigger scale of how we determine. So like when I'm looking at flower, at this point, if you're a consumer like you or I, at this point, we can just look at strains and know,
Mhm.
hey, I prefer this strain over that strain. So it's about the terpenes. I think we really just need to get educated. So this kind of follows up to this. I was also jotting down something I wanted to ask you too. So this kind of just follows up about like, I was going to ask about packaging too. That's another like sustainable packaging. How do you use packaging in like the cannabis industry? So I guess my answer to your question is it's for me, it's about the smell. Like, definitely, if the more we learn about the plant and the more that we consider the plant more of a feminine thing and a life thing, and it supplies for you what you need. It's more about each person is individually different, which we know whatever speaks to you. So usually I say when you're looking for quality, you're looking for how does the bud appeal to you. Personally, I'm more of a deep purple kind of person versus like the orange hair kind of person aesthetically, but I can
Mhm.
still tell a good weed with like terpenes and everything. So yeah, definitely just how it looks. But I was surprised. I did recently have some outdoor, and I was like, it looked really good for outdoor, but it was a care package from maybe across where you're from. But anyways, so it was really a lovely experience to have that, and for it being outdoor, it was wonderful. So that's how I would define quality. Oh my goodness, tell us this kitty's name.
Yeah, her name is Tia. She's my
Adorable.
daughter's cat. Daughter left for university and left us the cat. So,
Uh,
um,
so, Grandma, I'm needy right now.
yeah, she's really meowing like you're ignoring me.
Yes. And again, you guys, if you go to Alibi Cannabis and want to check out their website, because again, I know we do have some West Coasters over here, they are on my About page. So all you have to do is click on their logo and that will pop up. Here you go. Since we are talking about it, I did see that you probably tried to put a link in there and my links are banned. So we'll go ahead and put it in there. So if
Oh, okay.
anybody wants to see it, they can go ahead and I was actually looking at the store locator here and I didn't type in an address or a zip code, but you are modest because you are in a lot of places in the state, it looks like.
Yeah, we are. We're fortunate that I mean we've built a reputation. So people ask for our products and every month, I mean our goal is every month to sell out before the next round is ready. And we pretty much do that. So that's it's a good place to be. And yeah, and also we have on our website a blog post. The reason I was asking about what do you think is what is your definition of quality is where it's a draft, but I thought I'd share it since we're talking
Yeah.
about what is quality. And it's just interesting because I totally agree with you that it's how does it smell and how does it taste and what are the effects in your own body. But in states where you don't have deli style, where everything is prepackaged, how do you figure that out? Like, what's it like in Colorado?
So Colorado's kind of like that, and of course, everything since the pandemic's way weird, and stuff doesn't has, just hasn't come back because either laziness or they just don't want to deal with it anymore. So uh, there's there is deli style, but so we have different types of dispensaries too. So we have this dispensary called Oasis, and it's called the Superstore, and I would never buy flour from there after like just because they have 56 jars of flour that are getting open, and so there's also that concept too. It's like this might be deli style, but at the same time this is getting like tossed around and open and closed, and
Hmm.
who knows how long it's been sitting on the shelf for. And just there was an incident where there was a dead mouse found in yeah,
Ooh,
a dead mouse
oh,
found in a jar, and it got to the dispensary. I'm not saying it's Oasis. I'm not going to say what dispensary it was, but that's what we're dealing with here is
yeah.
like the compliance, the laziness, like so I don't, yeah, it's hard. Like, it could have just been a weird thing that the mouse got in there too, but the way Colorado runs and stuff, I'm sure that that's not the first mouse to be found in a batch of weed. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so
Yeah.
it's there's a lot of factors that play into it. What would just be the best way is for it to obviously be federally recognized and for us to be able to grow our own cannabis. But what's going to happen is the cigarette companies are going to take it over, and it's going to be harder and harder for us to do our thing.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I've been looking at all the news this week, thinking that it's kind of like there's a movie from, I don't know, a while ago called Wag the Dog, about the political process. It was like electing a president or something and how they created a war just so that a president could get it elected. It's kind of a comedy, but kind of not,
Kind of not
you
like
know?
idiocracy and stuff. How real are those movies in our
Yeah.
lives?
So they're creating drama and creating headlines to manipulate the public.
And that's
And
exactly what's going on with this class three, or because he's doing it for a vote. And that's the
mhm.
only reason. And so that's really why we haven't talked about it much either. Because also, what does scheduling it at level three really do for cannabis? Really nothing. You know what I mean? We still have all the same issues.
Yeah. Yeah. And then now this week is the news about hemp being outlawed potentially in the
Oh,
Farm Bill. So
right.
it just feels like bam, 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 back and forth, just trying to
I
rile people up.
I always
And
say for as much progress as we're making, we're not making any fucking progress. You can't talk
mhm.
about it on Instagram. You can't, the president's using it as a political ploy. Like,
Yeah,
so,
exactly. And I feel like we're just kind of stuck being manipulated in the middle. So we're just, a lot of people are talking about it and planning and strategizing. I'm like, you know what? We're just going to grow great weed. That's
mm,
that's that's what we're good at. That's what we like to do. And all the rest of this stuff, it's kind of interesting to talk about, but at the end of the day, I don't know.
boots
Does
on
it?
the ground, like that doesn't really affect us right now. Like
Yeah.
that's all just like talking. What we need to do is keep focusing on, like you said, making a really great product, doing it correctly so that we can help eliminate that stigma and teach people. This is also another thing that I was talking about, going back to events and reasons why we don't have events and why it's so hard to get laws and make things happen for cannabis, because for far too long, sorry, stoners have acted like stoners, and we have put that out there, and now we need to do way more honing it back in, way more doing more respectful things. Like, I get it, weed, rapsters, gangsters, yeah, whatever, but like that imagery has to take a step back before we can really push anything to make change people's mind, because we have the boomers who grew up with reefer madness, who was taught to be scared of cannabis. We have my generation who grew up with Dare, where cannabis is the gateway drug, And even I don't even know when the boomers die because they have kids too. Do you know what I mean? Like, How much
Yep.
have they brainwashed these kids that are going to be the next to be up with the money and everything? So, sorry, I got off my little rant there. Uh, so yeah.
Yeah, I was just, you were talking about events, and I so wish it were different, but like here in Oregon, we were sponsoring two different events for 420, and they both got shut down.
Oh,
Um,
wow. See,
so we
so
ended
I
up,
didn't even think that you were. I always, like I said, I always feel like you guys are more liberal, but I think you're right. Can we might be a little bit more liberal with our consumption laws than you.
yeah. So it really sucks because I was really looking forward to a chance to, talk to consumers and share about our brand and, have people ask us questions about the farm. But
So was
no,
this like going to be a consumption event or just an awareness, no consumption event?
yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to do, I mean, they try to do stuff during the summer is a little bit easier because it's outdoors, and so
Right.
the rules are a little bit less strict outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
Indoors, it's pretty challenging.
Okay.
So yeah.
Hey everyone, I just want to take another quick second. We've been streaming for about a half hour now. We have Mary Ann with Alibi Cannabis. I was going to Calibi. That's cannabis for you. Okay, with Alibi Cannabis. If you guys are just tuning in, you do have a chance to win a T-shirt tonight. Basically, if you're in chat, you get in the T-shirt. Yeah, holler out. I know this is a last minute giveaway, so that's kind of why I'm saying it a couple times. But we thought, there might be someone out there who wants a T-shirt, and that'd be really great. So if you want in, all you have to do is let us know. That's how you get in to the drawing. If you want extra drawings, it's the same rules as Wednesday morning giveaway. So I wanted to ask, okay, so we were talking kind of more about like deli style. So is it all specifically one way when you go into a dispensary, or so like, the dispensaries are really wasteful with plastic, but then it's like, how much glass do you want to pump out? What do you think about that, and how do you guys package your cannabis?
Yeah, it's interesting because one of the larger chains in Oregon, they pre-package everything themselves. So if you go into the store, you're going to buy it in jars on the shelf, little jars. We
Glass
sell it to
jars or
them.
plastic jars?
I think they're all
Okay,
glass. Yeah, the ones I've seen are glass.
awesome.
Yeah, so it's nice, it's high quality, but yeah, it's all the waste. Um,
No.
and the other ones, a lot of shops will just put it in pop tops. So you'll go in, you
Mm-hmm.
pick out a nug, and they'll put it in a pop top for you. As you know, you choose something from the jar. But and there is a company here in Oregon that has worked on recycling stuff, which is really cool because I think that's important. But it's so hard. He's never going to make money at it, and he
Right,
fully,
because it's so hard to like
yeah,
get ahead and figure it out. What's
right.
up?
And
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
oh, no, it's just, and then what do you do? Like the glass, you crush it up or you try to wash it. It's a whole thing,
I know, and then you just got glass jars, just like you just have plastic things, and then you just end up throwing those away too. Honestly. What's
Yeah.
up, Ghost? And I finally got your stuff out in the mail today, Ghost. So wait, be on the lookout for your giveaway. It finally came to you. How are you? We've got Alibi Cannabis on tonight, Mary Ann. She was on a couple weeks ago, but we decided to have her back on. She sent me a great package, and I just love chatting with her. And again, if you guys want a chance to win this T-shirt, we are giving a T-shirt away, and everyone gets an entry. So just let me know, and we'll put you in. It's cute little, got the logo. Hey, why don't you tell us about this right now?
Yeah. So that's that image. She has a name. Her name is Mariposa, which means butterfly. And she actually lives not only on our t-shirts and our products, but she also lives in the digital world. So eventually I think that'll have, kind of went up and then back down and just as things do. But, could you imagine sometime in the future, you put on your headset, you go into a bar or a cannabis lounge and she's sitting there in the corner, maybe somebody's playing the piano, you have a conversation. Like that's what our cannabis tries, that's the experience that we want you to have when you smoke a joint of our weed. And so she really just embodies that. If you think of her like a butterfly, it's easy for, at least I'll speak for myself. It's easy to have a cocoon that is all the fear and all the frustrations and all the bad things that happened to you today, and that fear of bursting out. But cannabis can help you burst out and show that inner beauty that you have. And so she represents that, and that's what we try to do with our cannabis here at Alibi.
That's really awesome. I appreciate you sharing that with us. And if you guys go check out their website, keep popping the link down there. And two, you can also go to my About page and click on Alibi um, to see more about that. And the website is just really well done, you guys. I wanted to also mention that with the range that they are in Oregon, you can even, it looks like you guys are like right on the border of Idaho
Hmm.
and
Go
California even.
figure.
I
Go
know,
figure.
right? You guys are like, I can't believe this, you guys. Go check out their before I didn't check this out last time you were on. So I'm just really surprised because Marianne, being modest, made it sound like they were just this little operation, but they're pretty much, they're a lot of places. So you guys go check it out. She also has some great pictures of their genetics um on the website. Um, they're working with Congress. It looks like she's been on um, several awesome podcasts. She's been including this one twice.
Yeah. You know it. Yeah, and the Congress was pretty interesting. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Yeah,
We were
yeah.
kind of talking about advocacy and stuff. Our US representative stopped, but I've reached out to her office probably 6 months ago, just wanting to connect and say, hey, if you want to ever chat about cannabis and get our take on the industry, I'm always available. And they called me up like 2 weeks ago and said, hey, can we come out for a tour tomorrow? And I'm like, sure. So we had our US representative from Washington, D.C. out to the farm. We had such an amazing conversation. And she's a Republican, but so people typically associate Democrats with cannabis legalization and Republicans as anti, but she was so much in favor of cannabis. We talked about all the problems, we talked about the challenges, and she said, like, I'm here for you. Let me know what you need. So I am so grateful. She's just doing her job, trying to do the best for everybody. And I really appreciate that.
That is amazing because I am too seeing that like folks that you wouldn't know or think that would be in favor of it. The reasons that they find that they are usually are in support is because they've seen the medical properties of it. They've experienced someone getting healed by cannabis or it helping stop seizures or just anything that, and that's really awesome that someone in that position has had that effect because I'm gonna guess that's what had happened. Like she knows or has personal stories of seeing it. That's usually what it takes.
Yep. Yeah. Because, like we talked about at the very beginning, everybody has a story. You wouldn't believe how many people I talk to say, oh, my aunt had arthritis and it helped her with her arthritis, or oh, so and so had cancer. Everybody's got those people in their family and in their lives. And it's just awesome to be a part of that and to help people get better and feel better.
Right. And also going back to like the medicated part of it and like what works for you. I want to go back to and touch briefly and say that one of my favorite strains is mimosa and it is usually in the teens of percentages for THC, but that just has like a really strong profile and I find that even with like a lower percentage, it is a great medicine for me and I have really good um, medicine like effects from that. So just
Oh,
another
that's really
thing.
cool. I haven't tried that one. I'll have to go look for it.
It's one of my
Yeah,
favorite strains.
yeah. Is it kind of fruity?
Yeah, it's really light and kind of fruity. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, the sad state of affairs, at least in Oregon, is if the THC is under 25%, we basically can't sell it,
Right.
which is so messed up and so wrong. And we could probably spend a whole 2 hours talking about that. But uh, so that's the education piece is how do we get people to not buy based on potency?
So
And I
he,
don't know the answer, but I think it's just having these conversations.
right. And so here's my thing. I was gonna say this is like honestly, it's about the visibility. It's about the conversation. It's about like I was getting my nails done yesterday and I was watching three different television shows that they had on, and they were all food, like food exploration, like, going and trying. One was even shot in the point of view of an IRL where like the person was doing their own camera. And I'm thinking with how many states are recreational and how many, things are going on, why is there not something like this? So this goes back to what I want to do is take the herbal chat on the road and like start in Washington and Oregon and visit every recreational state and have these conversations and share what, how much cannabis costs in California versus how much it costs here, and what's the quality like, and what are the laws of like, and what are the people that work in the industry like. I just think that there needs to be more folks like myself who are inviting folks from all over, and maybe one day it will catch on to a network.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's really cool because I think having these conversations is so important, not just in our little tiny like my little tiny bubble with my friends, but yeah, bigger conversations because we could learn so much from talking to people in Colorado and California. It's like, oh, cool, I didn't know that, or oh, cool,
Or like
I'd
have a
love to try
cannabis
that.
council where like, people from all over like meet up, and I'm sure there's something like that already where owners get together and they grind it down. But these things also need to be more accessible to folks who aren't in the industry, who want to learn about this stuff, because still they're getting fed a lot of propaganda if you aren't in the industry. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Still
Yeah.
so many misinformation, so much misinformation out there.
Yeah, I feel I've spent a lot of time in shops because we do vendor days. So we'll set up a little pop-up inside the shop and
Mm-hmm.
hand out stickers and whatnot. And I love doing that because it gives me a chance to actually talk to the user, like people who are going into a store and buying our flower. And so I'll ask them like, hey, what are you looking for? What do how do you want to feel? What's your experience that you're going for? And um I think having the bud tenders, so many bud tenders are misinformed, and I don't want to throw them
Mm-hmm.
under the bus. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
criticizing them at all because they're
Mm-hmm.
doing, it's a hard job,
Mm-hmm.
but I just wish that it were better. I wish that they had better information to share with the customers.
So I am a brand ambassador for Wana. So I do those pop-ups and I talk to folks and educate them too. And I
Mm,
have to agree with you too. We have stuff out, like I know that we offer some like online bud tender training and stuff, but I also think you're right. I think there's a lot of folks who get into it for the wrong reasons, honestly, maybe initially, or like I do. I feel like we all need just to be little advocates for the plant still,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So yeah, I would love for all bud tenders, or to go in and be educational and informational, even to the folks who are like, I get my shatter wax every fucking week, blah blah blah. Nah, we should talk and educate you too. Everybody could benefit from a little bit of education. It's about the advocacy for the plant. So
Yeah. Well, and that kind of goes back to quality that we were talking about before is, you know, in the industry, like even amongst our team at the farm, we have different ideas about what does quality mean. And so, if we can't even agree, I mean, we kind of agree, but
right,
it's like there's so many aspects to it. So how do you make that something easy to talk about? Like
right.
it's so hard because
And
it's
like,
so
yeah,
complicated.
and going and doing like online cannabis courses, like, where, you know what I mean, where is the like, is this legit, are these right? Everybody has something different to say, and what kind of is beautiful about that too is that they're all kind of right, because this plant is very mysterious, and we're still learning so much about this plant after it's been used in culture for thousands and thousands of years. So
Mhm. Yeah, there's still so much we don't know. I mean, I guess that's one benefit of Schedule 3, although I've heard,
right.
some people say that we'll be able to get research done, and other people say it's not going to make any difference. I don't really know the truth. I'm not a lawyer, but
Mm-hmm.
I hope that that happens. I hope that we actually get some more information. Because wouldn't it be great if we could I mean, Oregon is top, which really means bottom in the nation for mental health problems. So we have more undiagnosed and untreated mental health problems than almost anywhere else in the
And
US.
you guys have a lot of homeless too, which we're
Oh,
right up there too,
yeah,
which is mental health illnesses not getting taken care of. So, yeah.
100%. And so if we, you know, we're spending literally billions of dollars on silly things trying to solve it. But what about if we could just grow some plants and maybe it would help, not saying that it's going to cure anything because you can't say that, but like if it helps with some of these mental health issues and helps people integrate into society and become productive members, like why not?
Right. And also like we're learning too, you can take the high out of THC and still get many of the medical benefits too. So,
Mhm.
there's just a lot we can do.
Yeah. So I'm excited about the future. I mean, I'm really excited about the things that we're going to learn and the fact that we get to be in this industry really at the beginning and craft it the way we want to craft it. And hopefully the good people are the ones left standing and just create a better place for people.
Right. You said that, and that just like instantly, like, unfortunately, too, I feel like in this, there's a lot of gatekeeping and a lot of like, definitely in Colorado. I'm sure everywhere there's gatekeeping. So I don't know. I just really like to see they get and it's gonna be tough and hard. I'd like to see some of the gatekeepers, some of the folks who are like legacy folks who just don't get it too. Do you know what I mean? They're like, let's not just say that it's people on the inside too that kind of need to like brush up and put a professional face too forward at some extent. So both of us are to all of us are to blame. We need to do more people in the industry need to do their part too. Hey, can you not?
Yeah, the gatekeeping concept's really interesting because there are some organizations and companies that are lobbying against home grow. I just don't get that. I'm like, it's a plant. Yes, of course I have a farm and we need to make money and I want to sell all my product, but if I want to have a few plants in my backyard, absolutely.
Right? You
Like,
don't see the tomato companies or the corn companies or anybody else saying you shouldn't grow corn in your backyard.
right. It makes no sense. Like power to the people, right? If it helps you and you enjoy it, I mean, why not,
And
right?
also, one day shit's gonna go down the tube. Just the way that we're taking, like, just the way that the world is taking care of itself or not taking care of itself. You're gonna want to know how to do some farming and gardening. You're
You know it.
gonna. uh,
Yeah, I have my list of people that I would get in my tribe. I have a friend who's actually a blacksmith. Like, okay, so you need to have
yes,
a blacksmith.
yes.
One of our employees, she used to be a butcher, so she knows how to process animals. And I'm like, okay,
It's
so
real stuff. We laugh about
yeah,
it, but like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, idiocracy was just a joke. But how much has it come true? And like, drink the toilet water, you guys. So, yeah, life's crazy. And the more that, like I said, we can improve cannabis and give it a better face, the more that, she'll help us through all our troubled times.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody. You're all lurking today. But you're out there, so thanks for hanging out. Thanks for saying hi. If you guys have any questions for either Marianne or myself, we're happy to answer them. As you can see, too, we're jumping all over the place tonight. I'm really enjoying our conversation tonight, so it's really good. All right. Do you have anything that you want? Oh, you have a question? Okay, what's up? Go ahead and ask us. So she's a cultivator out of Oregon, and her cannabis is all over the state. Yeah, what's your question? And last time, while you're typing that out, I will say last time we were talking about how Alibi Cannabis treats their employees, and they're pretty hooked up and they're pretty set up too. So I'm really loving that they get all the employee perks that you offer them as well.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about quality cannabis, right? And so it's for me, yes, being able to have a product that we stand behind and I can put my name on and I would put in my body is really important. But part of that also is what goes into it, right? So
Right.
if employees show up and they're grumpy and they're unhappy and they don't treat the plants well because they've had a bad day and they're not feeling appreciated, I think the plants know, and I think that
Oh,
you see that at the
totally.
end. Okay, so we got the question
Do
of
you
our own.
run all of your own genetics or do you outsource the genetics?
So that's a great question. We don't do our own breeding because we do not want to have any males in our facility at all. So we outsource them, and we do a combination of getting outside clones and getting seeds from outside and then doing our own pheno hunt. So the pheno hunt process, I don't know, do you want to talk? We could talk about that real quickly
Yeah,
if you want.
absolutely.
People
Because I
aren't
was just
familiar.
going to interject too. Ghost, if you want to talk, if you want to start talking about your genetics too, I think Marianne would be interested to hear about what you have to say. So yeah, go ahead and take a second and talk about that. We've got time.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I'll just talk about the pheno hunt process, at least how we do it. And Ghost, I'm like happy to have conversations and learn about your stuff too. Well, what we do is so let's say we have a seed pack that we've bought. So let's just say there's 6 seeds in it. So we'll plant all 6 seeds, and even though they're the same strain, the same cultivar, they will be different. So some of them will be more purple, some of them will be more green, some of them will smell this way or that way or have different terpenes, even though they're the same strain. I mean, that's the beauty of the plant. And so for us, a pheno hunt process is we'll take each one of those 6 seeds, grow them up into some clones, and then from those, we'll try to run 4 plants of each different one. So 6 seeds times 4 plants, 24 plants, and run those through. And then we'll compare which ones we like, which ones have the better yields, which ones smell the best. And then from there, we'll choose one and go with it. Or maybe we'll choose none. We don't always get a winner, but it's a very laborious, time-intensive process. So people think, oh, we're just going to go to going to go get some new genetics. It's not that easy. It's very hard and very complicated because we have to find things that work in our system and that the market also likes. So it's trying to balance both of those needs.
I really enjoyed too that you said that, maybe you won't choose any of them either, which is awesome to know that you're not just pushing a product because oh you've spent X amount of money on it and it needs to be well that's good enough.
Mhm. Okay. Around half our species into how is your space used for 24 plants? Okay. Let me do some quick math and I will tell you.
So the question here, in case you guys are joining and you can't see the chat, and for when this replays later, so Ghost runs a hemp farm specializing in THCA, and is asking how much space does she have for her 24 plants? And also,
Oh,
Ghost, right now, since you're our token chatter and you've been here, you're in the running, whether you like it or not, for winning this T-shirt. I think you would, yeah. So, yeah, if you want this T-shirt, we can put you in the running to win it. We're doing a giveaway.
yeah,
We're doing.
absolutely. Okay, so a little bit more than um, one plant per 3 square feet. I'm happy to do the math and we can talk, but that's kind of, we have tables. And so just figuring out, so that's like 3/4 of a table for a pheno hunt. The tables are 125 square feet. So, yeah, so somewhere in that neighborhood. I'm curious though about THCA because I see that you were specializing in that. The hemp bill is probably bad news. I mean, it's bad news for everybody, but or the new farm bill, but especially bad for you. Um, yeah, so anyway, in the pheno process, so it takes just to add a little bit more context to that for people who are not cultivators, who don't, haven't had the experience in a farm.
We'd love that.
So from the time that we pop a seed we have to first grow the plants and that big enough to take clones, flower the clones out and test them. So that's at least 3 months, if not 4, from the time that we decide to pop the seeds until we have just our first test batch. So, and then from there, if we're going to put it into a round, we're talking 6 months at least from the time that we decide to pop a seed until we find one and get it out to the market. So it's a really long process that we love to do and we have to do to stay on top of things, but if you don't know, you don't know. And
Right.
you know, it's kind of cool. It's part of it, but it's complicated.
I don't know if that's everyone's process either. I don't feel like that is everyone's process. To me, that seems like a really thorough, excellent process is to like get a couple samples out before you actually do the whole greenhouse.
Yeah, it is. It's about risk, right?
Mm-hmm.
We could just pop some seeds and then just do a whole big room of them, but the risk of, they're not always stable. They might seed, they might not yield well. So for us, it's about risk, and there's enough risk in the industry already that we
Mm-hmm.
want to reduce as much as we can.
Awesome. Ghost, thank you so much for tuning in and adding to the conversation. We appreciate that and love that. Um, so, do you have anything fun that you're working on, Ghost, as far as genetics that you? I know you usually tell us in just chatting. You're welcome to tell us now too. We're down to hear about that. Um, yeah, again, you guys, I'm going to take a moment. We've almost been streaming for an hour with Marianne from Alibi Cannabis. She's a cultivator out in Oregon, you guys. Women owned facility. About how many employees do you have working for you?
There's a total of 6 of us on the team, plus about 8 trimmers. So that includes sales and our facilities and yeah, daily working on the farm. There's 3 cultivators, and they do a lot, and I mean, they do everything. It's a pretty awesome team. We've focused on trying to be efficient, and because that's how we've got to be profitable at the end of the day. So
Mm-hmm.
don't have 50,000, like so many people trying to do everything. Focus really hard on automation and having, people having fun jobs.
Right, and it's nice too because, like, again, I work for Wana, who is now international, and they're a very small company. They only have about 200 folks working for them, and they've been around for over a decade. They're one of the best
Hmm.
edible companies in the country. So it's about that. It's about doing it small, and honestly, I think it's about women are just better at multitasking and just do it. We're just better at multitasking and dividing up the work. It's just kind of like uh the whole matron, mother, you know what is the word, matriarch is the word.
Nurturing, nurturing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. It's just that whole thing about that. And again, with the plant being feminine too, I just think that the team up between plant and woman is amazing and unstoppable. Yellow fishnets. I know you definitely. You had asked about a T-shirt, so now I am starting to write down entries. We'll pick out a name at the end of the show. And if you're not a regular and I can't track you down, um, you, stick around, you guys. Just try to be in chat if you would, okay? So I can shoot your information over to Marianne so she can get you that T-shirt. Yeah, thanks, Yellow Fishnets. I know I really am enjoying this conversation too. So thankful that she's taking the time to join us. And it's not the same conversation that we had last time. It's a little different and it's all around. So if you guys want to know anything, we've touched on consumption, which we'd love to talk about it, but unfortunately, neither one of us really do have the consumption capability in our state. Um, yeah, genetics, cultivation, um, RSO oil, RSO. Um, yeah, we've talked about it all, you guys. I also want to take this time to mention that we got another top tier pledge sponsor. They are normalized, so they'll be on next week, actually. I'm really excited to start working with them. They're a local company out of Colorado. Oh, are you familiar with an organization called This Is Jane Project?
I have heard of them. Who runs it? It sounds really familiar.
So I think it's ran out of California. I think it's fairly new. There's a what? Yeah, go ahead and check it out if you want. Because I had just met with the Colorado coordinator. It's still like a really baby organization, but what they do, I love what they do. I haven't even done the onboarding or anything yet, but I'm telling everybody about this organization and urging you if they have something in your state, urging you to join them, because what they do is they supply Janes. So anyone identifying as a female or non-binary, they are getting them medicine for the month for like $1 or whatever the
Oh,
legal.
cool.
Yeah, so definitely check them out. Um, like I said, it's a nonprofit. It's new, so it's really hard to get a hold of folks. But I feel like it's definitely worth a look into.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I'm looking at this. I'm looking like, yeah, just to, to, they talk about destigmatized conversations around trauma, healing, and medicating with cannabis. Like, yes, absolutely. Um, because there's so many people who have trauma that's not been dealt with. And I think it's, there's, I could go on and on about that, but I've read that it is the biggest public health crisis we have is undiagnosed
Oh,
trauma.
right. Because it's the PSD, we just push it back until one day all of a sudden you're like, I can't, what, do this? Along with ADHD and these neurological things that we are getting told or not, whatever. So what did Ghost have to say? We could go on about that.
Yeah.
I feel small batch is the future of good genetics. I'm currently working with Pacific Coast Genetics. I'll have a double check that name, but they are preserving the West Coast legacy strains. Also working with Dirty Bird Genetics. Bing Ting. What the fuck? Shh. What the He's 13 and he's like, I want to play. I want to play now. And keep feeding me cookies and I'll shut up, is really what he's telling me. Yeah, like I
Very
said,
cool.
I'm super impressed overall with how you do things and how you run things, and like as a human being, like so generous to send me such a wonderful package. I shared my chapsticks and sent them out in one of them out in the most recent
Oh, nice.
giveaway. So yeah, just I can't tell you how great. Again, you guys, I want to tell everyone out there too. Um, it's kind of different for me. Like maybe it goes back to that trauma and like just life and everything, where like I never was really connected with females, was never really encouraged to like do the whole like best girlfriends and everything. And at times growing up in high school, chicks can be very catty, and it's just really hard to find where you belong. And like even with women saying they're about women, it doesn't always end up that way. And so what I'm getting to is that ever since I've started doing hers and have decided to, open up that like lock to that trauma side of that, like everyone that I've ran into, I've dealt with women across the country already, and everyone is so phenomenal and so supportive. And I kind of say that, like, I think the folks that I am connecting with, the women that I am connecting with, that we are all on a little bit of a higher, different level. Like, we're all very unique and driven, and there's a different like spirit and soul that we have. So it's going to be hard to find people that you can relate with and click with just in your vicinity and naturally, if that makes sense. Like there's this level of people and this aura of people, and I think especially is this like sisterhood with those of us who really, really, really like get into this plant and want it to just soar and take off. So I want to thank all the women, um, you, Marianne, everybody that's been on my podcast or my stream and has taken the time, because again, along with the gatekeeping and the popularity, I'm not that popular, but I have this outlet with visibility, and I have a following from all over the world. So thank you guys for understanding that and hanging out and chatting. It's really great.
Well, I just want to, thank you. I've heard a saying that's your vibe attracts your tribe. And I feel that from you, is like I feel the kindness and the generosity and the energy coming from you, even though we haven't met in person. I feel a kinship. And for people who don't feel that, they don't need to be your kin, right? They don't need to
Right.
be your tribe.
And
It's
that's
like,
exactly it.
and that's fine.
So,
So
yeah.
yeah, you've created something beautiful,
Yeah,
and I'm happy to be a part of it and support you. And I love having conversations. I could talk about weed all day long,
I
and we could
know.
just go on and on.
So some fun things. What's your favorite? How's your favorite way to consume flower? Are you a flower girl? Obviously.
Yeah, I do like pre-roll. I also have a vape. I like vaping is nice because it's so convenient and a little bit more discreet. Actually, I like it all. Just to put it out there.
I know, right? I'll do it. I'll fuck around and find
Yeah.
out. Why not? Welcome in, you guys. Hey, Ziggs. Thanks for the follow. Is this a second? Hello, Arbor Day. Oh, Raider from Ziggs. Nice. Wait, did we get a raid? Wait, no. Hello, Arbor Day. What's up? Um, Wait, did we get a raid? No. It says Raider up here. Okay. What's up, Arbor Day? What's up, everybody? Me, I raided you. You raided me. Oh, sweet. Oh, that's me. Okay, so thanks. Thanks, Arbor Day. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hi, Raiders. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, you guys. We're doing a giveaway too right now. Arbor Day, thank you so much for the raid. I missed it. I'm deep in conversation. Arbor Day, that's so nice of you. Ziggs, thank you, everybody. Sorry, we're gonna get caught up here. Um, Awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. Go give Arbor Day 420 a follow. He's a streamer out on the East Coast, right? So you guys, what's up? Thank you, Puzzler. Thanks for the follow, you guys. We're doing a little giveaway. Let me introduce you guys and tell you guys what's going on. That's all good. I don't hold a grudge as a joint sometimes.
Just don't get burned.
Yeah. Oh. So, this is my newest addition to my stream. It is hers Herbal Entrepreneurship Reporting Showcase. Tonight we have the owner of Alibi Cannabis on, Mary Ann from Oregon, you guys. So she's zoomed in, talking out with us. Also, if you guys, all you chatters, we're gonna enter you in to win this T-shirt. So if you guys want, this is Alibi Cannabis out of Oregon's logo, and they are willing to do a giveaway and mail you a T-shirt. So all you have to do to get into this giveaway is tell me that you want me to enter you into it. We have 2 entries in right now. That's it. That's all you have to do, guys, and you can win something.
And I might throw in a sticker, maybe a few other little
I
things.
bet she'll hook it
So.
up. I bet she'll hook it up. Cough, cough, enter. All right, you guys, here we go. Where's everyone from? Puzzler. Ziggs, thanks, Ziggs. I want in.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of cough, cough. Okay, little random thing. I was just casually talking with some friends the other day, and somebody brought up, they asked if I sneeze with certain vapes. And I was like,
Oh,
oh yeah, I thought that was just me.
is it the distillates? I'm not a huge fan of distillate, dude. That'll get me tickling and throwing in my nose. Bing is crying and Franklin's laying underneath my feet.
But I was like, hey, does that happen to anybody else? Like, I don't know why. And it's just kind of one of these weird things.
It might be like the terpenes too. What do you,
Maybe.
yeah, anybody out there? Hey, you guys, if you got any questions, cannabis, cultivating, anything, we're here to talk about it, you guys. Wow, what an awesome. I did not expect that. Thanks for the raid, you guys. Yeah. So we've talked about, if you're just joining, we've talked about cultivation, this is women owned RSO. Yeah. Thanks, Arbor Day. So thanks for stopping by. Aw, okay, go take care of your pup. Much love. Arbor Day is a 420 streamer as well. So you can see when I'm always encouraging people to start awesome, to start I'm always like, this is another dream, Marianne. So if you ever want me to come out and hook this up for you,
Okay.
I would love to set people up Twitch channels. Like I think we did talk about this last time you were on the 24 Grow channel. You know, eventually it
Yep.
could become like a residual little way of income, or you could have a show yourself once a week where you talk about what's happening at the Grow, or an educational. You know, one of your employees every week could have like a little chat and talk with folks. I just think there's like so much to do, and that's just another great way to have visibility too. So
Yeah, I think that's so cool. And it's, like you said, it's not shut down. Like, Instagram and Facebook, we can't really do anything. Anything I post that's interesting and fun gets reported and shut down. It's just not even worth it
I
anymore.
know we all have ticks, and you know, you got to remove this content, and then you got to check that every day, and then you got to wait 24 hours, and then you can't say, can't, you know, can't hashtag anything. And so, yeah, that's why I really, really encourage this, you know.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
And
Figure something out.
I have also loved that I did see that you have got your little logo on your channel now and stuff. So you're already on your way. Even if you want to do some long distance, I'd love to get you help set up, at least give you like a little bit of a platform, and you know, tell
Yeah,
you
that'd
what
be
tell
awesome.
you
We
what you
should,
might need or give you ideas.
yeah, follow in your footsteps, and I'd love to do that.
Because again, like I said, that's just something you could, you know, get some cameras and set it up and let it go.
Hmm.
why does
Yeah.
she, why does she need any sassy viewer? That's awesome. What's up, 888? Welcome in. It's nice to see you guys. 888, you want in on this too? You want in on this entry? All right, you guys. We've been streaming for an hour and 10 minutes. Um, oh, does she need? You're the sassy viewer. Yeah, we always need sassy viewers. We love them.
Those are my people, all the sassy viewers.
I know, right? 888 wants in. 888, how's your car running? 888 just bought a vehicle. He is just across the border in Canada. Don't you have a U.S. mailing address, though? Did we talk about this too? All right, you guys. We've got Marianne for about another 20 minutes. I do. I knew you had one. Okay, cool. I knew you had a US address. So you guys, I don't know what to say. What do you guys want to know? Oh, hey, what's up, Distal? What's up? Everybody's coming in and checking out. Thank you. Distal, also, would you like entered into the giveaway for this Alibi Cannabis T-shirt? It is a cannabis company out of Oregon, and we have the owner with us. So, I don't know how many. Aren't there any West Coasters out here right now? What have you missed? A lot. We talked about a lot. We covered. Well, let's see. So we covered no,
Genetics.
yeah, genetics, no consumption laws really either for any of us. So we don't really have any events to talk about. Um, so what has been your favorite thing tonight, Marianne, and what would you like to revisit? Because it's that time where there's been rotation and we can start revisiting everything. Do you want to just give us a rundown again, a basic of how you started with cannabis and what it led to?
Yeah, for sure. I would love to talk about, I'm always happy to talk about that. I just putting a pin in, I would love to hear from the people that just hopped on about how they buy, like how they choose cannabis, like what does
Oh,
quality mean to you? And I'll just tell you a little bit about our farm. We started in 2017. We're an indoor farm, and I started the farm when I was going through treatment for cancer. So we come at everything from a medical perspective. And so that means we do try to do the right thing all the time. And if it's, I don't want to put any garbage in my body, so why would I sell any garbage? So that's our focus, is trying to do what's right for the plants and to grow the best quality cannabis that we possibly can. And so, it's challenging in Oregon because, like we were talking about before, is if the THC score is less than 25%, dispensaries won't buy it. And so that means customers don't see it on the shelves. And it's a really tough place to be in, because I know those are the ones that people like. People enjoy it. They're still good product. They're fabulous flower. So how do people choose what to buy? And then, there's this disconnect between what people buy at the store and then what we grow. I mean, there's not like what they like. So we always grow top shelf, grow fire, and but sadly we have to focus on test scores because it matters.
So I
Yeah,
do want to touch on both of these. So quality is the harshness of the smoke along with the upbringing of the high. Taste is secondary for me. That's also, and two, another way to tell if cannabis is good too is like the purer that the smoke is, the whiter that the ash is on a joint or in a bowl, just the better quality it is too. And Triple Eight, that's what we were talking about too. How I really enjoy mimosa, which is usually a 12% strain.
yeah. And I was just sadly we don't grow any of those lower THC ones because they don't sell. And I'm worried that the market that those are not going to be available in the market for forever, because ultimately it's a commercial commodity. And so we're losing genetics because people don't buy them. It's kind of an interesting thing to think about. And then how can what do we have the future that we can create our own future. So what do we want?
It's almost like there needs to be not necessarily the like, so here in Colorado they're kind of phasing out of the med, right? So it's not so much as like, maybe there has to be a different way we approach selling it too. Maybe there needs to be two different kind of dispensaries, not a medical one, but maybe more like a lighter one, that carries CBD and these lighter strains, and then maybe a heavier one, because that way you'll get the two different people entering two different stores versus someone going there and just assuming who's not educated and just getting the higher percentage, yo.
Right. Yeah, because they think that it's better value. They're like, oh, I'm trying to make my dollar go further. And that's actually not helpful because it's, like Triple Eight said, sometimes the higher THC ones just aren't as much, they're not as much fun. They're not as,
No, and that's the
doesn't
thing
fit the way
too.
you want.
Even with doing this brand ambassador stuff, I have to lean with these people who say, we are heavy flower consumers, and edible will fuck me up. I get so tired of hearing people say edibles don't do shit for me, dude. I mean, there is a small, 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 tiny percentage that is true for. But it's, again, I'm working for Wana, and Wana's not just doing like 10 milligrams here, 10, they're doing the 1 to 1 to 1. They're doing the 2 to 1s. They're doing melatonin in their gummies, the CBN, the CBG, and that all makes a difference. So I just think that, again, we go back to education and visibility, but like, how do you break these stigmas? Let's see
Yeah.
here. Like a co-op. Let's get back here on chat. Let's get chat's in it now.
Yep.
Um, so speaking of surprise cannabis museum with a bunch of different seeds, such to preserve strains. Oh, nice. Oh, some
I,
sort of cannabis
yeah.
museum, or like right, like to preserve stuff, but nobody wants that. Again, Triple Eight's in Canada, so I don't know really how different is the culture there. Do you know Triple Eight? Have you been to the U.S. to know what the difference is?
But speaking of museums, that was actually a really cool idea. I've read that I forget the name of it, but like a doomsday um a chamber where they've gone and saved like lettuce and tomatoes and this and that, so that we have seeds available if there were some doomsday event. And you're totally right. We should get your favorite strains. I would choose Durban, so like give me some Durban seeds. That's the only one I
Put
want,
that in
but
the vault. But
that's right. Put it in the vault. We'll get the Blue Dream for you and the mimosa. You want
yes.
a mimosa, so add your favorite cultivar to the list and we'll add it to the vault.
Okay, so you went to New York compared to my place. We have some dispo 200 meters busy area, whereas I was looking for one in New York. So like you could and that's different. I guess that's not fair either because every state is different too. So like you could throw a stick and fucking trip on three dispensaries here in Colorado. So yeah, it's different everywhere. So I guess that wasn't really a
100%.
fair question.
Yeah, and on the potency thing, one thing that we've talked about here, it'd be interesting to get people's take on is, now it's a number, right? So we take it to the lab and the tests come back at 28.3%. But even the 28.3%, it's always plus or minus. So even the lab results, just because it's a number doesn't mean that it's accurate. I mean, it's a range, it's a realm, it's somewhat close. But what if we were to take and have it be low, medium, and high? So if you want something that's like 15 to 20, that's the low. You want the medium, that's 20 to 25. You want the high. But
Right.
my argument against that is I feel like people are just going to gravitate towards the high and that's going to what's going to
Right.
sell. So it doesn't really change anything.
So, what was I gonna say about that? Dang it, I lost my train of thought. But
Sorry.
no, no, because I want it was off of that. I was gonna piggyback off of that. Um, but I got distracted because this is Jane just messaged me about my interview.
Oh.
Let's see here. Let's see if I can remember. Okay, 20 minutes looking for New York in one. Guess I should say my place is basically everywhere in Canada right now. So you can get you are the same in Canada where you could throw a stick and be at a dispensary. And also, do you guys have what's consumption in public like in Canada too? I'm curious. Um, Oh, let me give me a second to think if I can think about what I wanted to say because it was good. You said medium, low, different
Yeah, so for
strength. Yeah.
potency, yeah, like if we
Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Okay,
okay.
totally remember. So when you talk about like even testing here in Colorado, like those numbers are so fucking whack anyway because you're basically they have how many ever pounds of fucking weed and then you're only taking one small sample from that. You're not taking consistently all the tops of the plant. You're taking not taking the bottoms, and we know that there's a different potency throughout the whole tree too or plant. So that's another thing too that people don't understand. Like if people were educated on that fact alone, maybe we would change some minds.
Yeah, that's totally true. Like even like you said, the plant, the top to the bottom, it's different by 10% or 10
Mm-hmm.
points. Um and and the lab is going to be a random sampling of that, but then even what you buy at the shop is still going to be a random sampling, and you
Mm-hmm.
don't know how they handle it at the shop or how long it's been sitting on the
Mm-hmm.
shelf. All of those
Right.
things make such a big difference. And so,
If it was cured properly, because a lot of this stuff also, let's be real, some of these dispensaries are not curing their shit properly because they want to get it out, like they're not.
mhm,
So there's a lot of factors. Okay, I have seen some illegal practices of some companies testing and putting D9 and all these other THC. Okay, so there's also that too. Like there's a lot in the US too. So basically, THCA is legal before you light it. When you light it, it becomes cannabis or it becomes weed, THC. So there's a big loophole too. I know a lot of places they're shipping it across the country right now in the US. Um, People smoke in their cars all the time in public, right on, and don't really
mhm.
get affected by it. Like no citations or anything.
Yeah, and on the kind of unethical and illegal practices that some people do, there's a scandal right now in Michigan with conversion oil, which is hemp derived CBD oil. And somebody probably knows the science better than I do, but you take CBD oil and you can run it through a chemical process to convert it to a version of THC.
Oh
And
dang.
they're so it's so much cheaper to do that than to actually grow flower or trim that's then pressed or extracted for THC. So they're because it's so much cheaper, then they're using that to lace and cut the actual THC and selling it and like bringing it in the back door to operators and selling it. A friend of mine got hit with that and he made vapes and he had to throw away $70,000 worth of vapes because the oil that he bought was conversion oil, and when he did his final testing he realized it and said and was just screwed. So there's a lot of unethical things happening, and it's a sad thing. I really wish federal rules were more consistent, but people do what people are going to do, try to make a buck and try to get around the rules.
Dang, that's really upsetting.
Yeah.
Cause like you didn't know he was a victim of that, dude.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
wow,
And then he
crazy.
reported it to the state agency, and the people he bought the oil from, they were so pissed at him. He's like, I'm doing the right thing. You can't be selling this shit because this
Right.
is not what we're not putting this in our vapes.
Well, good for like wonderful. Like again, wonderful that there are people out there like you doing the small testing and the boutique growing and, calling people out that need to be called out. Because again, there is no way we're going to move forward with everything if folks keep doing this backwards stuff. So,
Hmm.
right? I know. Triple Eight, thank you so much for hanging out, you guys. Everybody else in chat too, thanks for hanging out. Raiders, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the follow. Anybody who wants in on the winning one of these T-shirts, let me know. I'll put you down. Pretty soon we'll cut these up and I'll pick one. And yeah, you can win a T-shirt and a little bit of other fun swag from Alibi Cannabis out in Oregon, you guys. And two, once this is done, I'm gonna upload this right to YouTube. So if you missed this, or if you check out TNM News, you can find us there too. Um, yeah, again, I love having conversations with you. So, if you want to come back on a couple months down the road, we'd love to have you back on too. Um,
Absolutely. Let's do it.
yeah,
I'd love to do that.
we'll definitely get you in the books for then. You guys just chat have with that note, just chat have any more questions and I'm gonna cut these up. So if you guys want in on the giveaway, let us know. I know, right? An international stream. So really love the visibility we're getting here. So
The beauty of the internet. You can talk to anybody anywhere. Oh, I love your bag in the back. I see the with the blue weed leaf on it.
oh, the
That is
green.
so
Oh yeah,
cool.
that's my this is my brand ambassador. Hang on.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that's your wanna bag. That's so awesome. I love it. Sorry, I'm easily distracted by beautiful
I
things.
like to be, weeded out. I like to be on brand when I go to the dispensaries. I use this as my purse. So I got this off of Temu. Yeah, that's right. That's yeah. So yeah, you guys, if you want in on the entry, let us know, and I'm happy to put you in. Alibi Cannabis. I was just gonna ask you something else. Okay, so Alibi Cannabis, does that mean you get distracted looking in the mirror?
Oh, that's so sweet. Because I
Oh,
said I'm easily distracted by pretty things, but
I missed that. My headphones were off. Thank you for letting me know. Last question for me. Do you feel like a happy little kid every time you go in? Yeah, what's your feeling like every time you go in the grow? Do you just like love the aesthetics too of the plant and like what's it like every time you walk in?
it's kind of funny. I I love the veg room. The rooms where we're almost ready to harvest and they're full of flower are beautiful and really impressive. But I really like the energy in the veg room. The plants are just they're green and they're happy and they're just kind of like they're just at the beginning of their life. And to me, it feels different. And so I just love going there and I was just, we'll touch leaves and talk to them and, not get totally woo woo about it, but
But yeah, I
it's
do
just
like to touch a leaf every once in a while.
that sounds like a whole separate channel. Leaf touching
Oh, I
gone
like
wild.
it. A little sass. I love it. Let's see here. Do you prefer sticky weed or the weed that isn't sticky but messes you up either way?
Oh, that's a great question. Oh, the mother room too. Yeah. Um, Sticky weed, we have found that having a proper cure and a proper drying process really makes everything so much stickier. So, I mean, not to be all that, but all of our stuff is sticky because we've really figured out, we've taken time and science and effort experimenting to figure out the cure process. And yeah, it makes such, when the trimmers are complaining that they have to clean their scissors after every single nug, you've done a good job.
Right? Ooh, all that scissor hash. Nice.
Hmm.
So do you just do bud or do you offer like a hash or anything like that?
We mostly do flour. So we flour and then we have pre-rolls. We put our bee buds in pre-rolls
Okay.
and our trim with we sell.
Nice.
So,
I like that you guys though are using bee bud instead of trim and shake for your pre rolls. That's
oh
what a
yeah.
lot of places do out here. All right, you guys. I don't, Marianne, it's been so great. We have just chatted the whole time tonight. Again, you guys, I'm going to take a couple minutes. This is Hers Herbal Entrepreneurship Reporting Showcase. If you're a woman and you own any type of cannabis related company, I would love to get you on and have you on and chat with you. As you can see, it's fun visibility. We have folks from all over the world. My guests are from all over the country. We're hoping all over the world soon. So yeah, definitely check us out. Check it out. Again, thank you again so much for Alibi Cannabis for being here and hooking up a great swag pack for me and being a number one supporter of this stream. Again, you guys, here we go. We're gonna do the winner now. So let's see who is getting some Alibi swag. All right.
Whoop, 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 drum roll.
It's our bud 888. So go ahead, 888, and if you either want to get in my inbox and DM me your address, or if you want to get into Alibi Cannabis, you're welcome to. Just go ahead and send one of us your address, and we'll make sure it gets to her.
Yeah, absolutely. If you reach out to Sophie, or for me, you can follow us on Instagram and just DM me, and that'll get to me. But whatever is easy for you.
And make sure you include a size too. Sorry, include a size. How did you manage to spell my name wrong? Got my OG username. That's what your username. Oh, VX. Oh, I see it. Sorry, 888. Whatever, you won. So what are you crying about? All right, you guys. I'm not gonna hold up anybody else tonight for their time. Thank you so much. I'm sure you have stuff to get back to. Okay, right on. And we'll make sure to get you in the books in like a month or so.
Yeah, I'd love to come back. It was so much fun to chat, and love talking to all the people in the chat, talking to you and Sharon, and let's do it again.
Yeah, it's just so fun. Thank you so much.
Okay, have a great evening.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, suckers. That was fun, wasn't it? Thanks for hanging out, you guys. Shout out to Arbor Day 422 for that raid. That was awesome. Thanks you guys so much for everything. We'll be back in a couple days. Have a great night, everyone. I find them. Do you like my guest, 888? Hang on a second. Do you like my guest? Super nice, hey? You every time you tune in, you get stuck. That's good, right? What's up, honeysuckle? Honeysuckle. How are you guys? How is everybody? Welcome in. We just got done with hers. It was a great conversation. I can't tell you how much I really appreciate and love Marianne, dude, for hanging out and coming and doing the thing. We're going to hang out a little bit. I just love hanging out with you guys. Every time I hop on stream, you guys are so fucking supportive, and I love it. So if you guys are looking at my About page, you can see that it's not the Alibi Cannabis logo, but it is the, what is her name? What's her name? Mary Posa. It is the Mary Posa logo. So that's what's up with that, you guys. How's everyone doing? You guys hanging out? You guys going to bed? What's up? My housemate's going to go play in a half hour, and he's like, you want to go watch my music tonight? These guys should get outside. You're here now. Now I'm here. Thanks for stopping by, Triple Eight. So nice to see you. I know I kind of want to hang out because you work all the time. Honey, how was your day? How is everybody? How are you guys doing out there? What a great day. Again, I just feel like I'm finding the best people while doing this too. Who's next week? What did I say? Kathleen. I think Kathleen is next week. Let's look.